Hello and welcome to Tax Benefits. I'm Marci,
And I'm Katelynn.
and last episode I started choking, so hopefully we'll survive this one.
You're the one who said we should do one more, but okay.
Yeah, I have a sore throat and a cough right now, and I was doing really great until I got really tickled last episode, so.
Last episode was probably our best episode of all time, so if you skipped around, you need to go back. But you don't do that to us, Mom. We are on the subreddit Drunk or Child again because this has been a gold mine, and a gold mine.
I have a golden mind. I hugged my friend's mother.
You gotta do. Okay, first post. I hugged my friend's mother.
Crying from happiness, thanking her for making her daughter exist because she's so nice and I like her.
That's sweet, and I want to say it's a child.
Well, I would like to say that if I were a person who liked physical touch, I could see me doing this to your mother. Anyway, drunk.
Do. There it goes. And drunk. My friend's mother was also drunk and crying for the same reason. This happened last night.
Yay, that's wholesome.
Wholesome drunkenness.
Yay.
Alright, next post. Decided to put a pumpkin in the train tracks and wait for it to be hit. Grew attached to it. Named it George while waiting for the next train. Had regrets. Too late. Couldn't save George from being squished. Cried by the tracks for over an hour mourning for my little orange friend. I'm gonna say drunk.
I'm just gonna say that other than putting him on the tracks in the first place, this is 100% a thing I would do.
I know it is. You just wouldn't put George on the train tracks.
I'm going with child.
And I was a silly drunk that night. Come on, people, post some long stories.
I get emotionally attached to inanimate objects all the time.
She has a doll collecting thing going in our house.
Which, at least that one, there's a logic to.
They got
emotional
a face.
attachment. But I've gotten emotionally attached to ink pens before.
Do you want to talk about your emotional attachment to those scissors you keep losing?
Yes, I have a very strong emotional attachment to my scissors. I've had them since like 5th grade. They are right-handed scissors, and despite that, and me being left-handed, they're my favorite scissors I have ever used. And for some reason, the end of them is magnetized slightly, but I keep recently losing track of them, and I lost track of them for several days a while back and was incredibly upset about it and probably talked about it about 15 times a day.
Yeah. Today I found him in the couch.
Yay!
I also found my hairpin and a purple ink pen, which made me happy. Okay,
She goes, "It has been a productive day."
And you were like, "But what about my scissors?" And I was like, "Here they are." And you're like, "What?" Okay, next post. Walked into a bank, took out a deposit slip. Okay, well, already we know you're an adult.
I'm so concerned.
Took out a deposit slip, turned it over, and wrote, "This is a robbery."
Pro tip, don't do this.
Yeah.
Unless you're a child, that would almost be okay.
Okay. So they're saving the reveal for the end of the story, so here we go. I guess we'll make it until the end of the story, and then we'll do the reveal.
Well, that would be the logical way to read it.
Well, I didn't know if you wanted to pause or not, but here we
Nah.
go. I entered the bank, walked over to the counter with all the different paper slips, and took one out. You know how stupid the banks look now that all those slips are empty?
Yeah.
I also miss them. I wrote, "This is a robbery" on the back, and then placed the slip back in with all the other slips. Then calmly walked out of the bank. Did you at least take a bag of popcorn with you, you freak? So eventually a customer would take it out right on the front and then take it over, hand it to the teller with their money. The teller would then take the slip, turn it over to write the deposit details on the back to find the message.
Well, first of all, we never wrote deposit details on the back of our slips, so,
I'm still gonna say drunk because
Yeah.
you were in a bank by yourself.
yes.
As a 10-year-old with my mother while she did her banking.
Okay.
Okay.
That explains how you walked in and out without getting, suspicious looks.
There we go. Next post.
Threw a fork at my brother's face. It got stuck in his forehead and he had to go to the hospital. Oh, this is a child.
I'm gonna say child also, because hopefully you know better than to throw forks at people's faces. Answer. Kid. I was 2 and my brother was 5. My brother's first reaction to me embedding a metal fork in my brother's face put me in timeout upstairs, then bring my brother to the hospital.
Clarification, that was the babysitter's reaction.
Yeah.
Has your mom heard the snow shovel story?
No.
Okay. So, the reason I was very confident this was a child is because when I was a child, my sister and I were once playing in the snow in the backyard, and we were building snow forts. And we had the 2 shovels out to do that, and one of them was like this big, heavy, awful monstrosity that was like ridiculously heavy and you couldn't hardly lift it. Which was great for, scraping ice off a driveway, but not so much for kids playing in the snow. And the other was like your standard flimsy aluminum one and was a lot easier to use. Well, since I was the older sibling, I had the big, heavy, awful one. And I didn't like that, so I convinced my sister very slyly that it would be a trade in both our best interests if we traded snow shovels. And she fell for it, and she traded me snow shovels, and then when she realized her mistake, she tried to get me to trade back, and I insisted that it's not a fair trade unless both people are interested. And, that's probably a little bit true, but it's also not a fair trade when you lie. But anyway, my sister...
We knew that you screwed your sister over. You don't have to clarify that.
My sister will, to this day, claim that she was attempting to throw the snow shovel on the ground in anger, but she was shorter than me, and that snow shovel weighed a crap ton, and I find it very implausible that she hit me in the head when she was going for the ground. So I have a scar to this day that thankfully only shows up when I, wrinkle my forehead, but it cut me, and I have a nice little snow shovel scar. The end.
One time I was eating yogurt, and that's the punchline! My mom was eating yogurt, and she finished up with hers, and I just wanted her spoon, because I hadn't started yet, so I just took her spoon. And Jason was like, "That's a dirty spoon!" We were really young. And I was like, "It's cool with me." And he's like, "But that's a dirty spoon!" And when I put the spoon in my mouth, he bit me so hard that I bled. And it was like a perfect little, Jason's dental records on my arm. And my mom was like, "What's wrong with you? It was a spoon!" Okay.
I mean, I have plenty of stories about injuries I could tell, both myself and my family members, but we're probably getting close to time, so...
Are we? Yeah, we have time for one more. There we go. Okay. Next post. I made a yo mama joke to a friend. He said his mom was dead. I didn't believe him and kept making yo mama's jokes. His mom was really dead.
Child, I feel like an adult wouldn't care that much unless their mom had literally just died.
I'm not gonna comment on just... Hey mom, thank you for listening to Tax Benefits.
No, but you would find humor in its griefful.
I work with Ashley. Well, not anymore. She went to Tulsa. But I can't say yo mama jokes to her. And I can't say yo mama jokes to Lexi. So,
okay.
No. Adults care about their parents.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm just saying I would like to find humor in a situation that already makes me super sad.
Oh, man. This was a bad note to end on. Okay. Redeem yourself, comment. Kid. It was a big thing at the time in middle school to make yo mama jokes. I thought I was being hilarious. Turns out I was actually being the biggest asshole.
So, I had some friends in high school who thought it was hilarious to have me say yo mama jokes because I was like the least ghetto person in the universe. And they said I enunciated my words and was too proper, and so that made it really funny.
We should have quit while we were ahead.
Now we're afoot.
That's not how that joke goes either.
You know what they say about puns? You just keep making them regardless of how bad they are.
That's not a pun.
Yes, it is. Ahead, afoot.
I thought you were like gonna say, you know what they say about puns, and then say another pun that would redeem this episode's terrible last quarter.
Nah.
You just keep saying.
Ow!
I just headbutted her. If you want to follow us on our shared Tumblr where we get most of our material from, please don't spoil the material for us, because then you'll ruin 80% of this show. But its name is taxbenefits.tumblr.com, and it's spelled TACKS. And if you choose to tune in next time, you'll hear us then. It sounds weird. I need to try again. It's awful.